Hello everybody and welcome to This Month in Music for the month of July 2022. I'm your host, my name is Tyler, and as always I'm joined by the boys. We have Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we have Kai.
Hello.
So today, I don't have a clickbait section. There was no news that came up that I feel like talking about, so I figured this is a good opportunity to test out my brand new segment, which I will use any month that I don't feel like talking about news. It's a comment of the month. That's right. We have enough clout now and enough engagement that we can actually do this.
Wow.
So this will vary in quality, based on what we get. Sometimes maybe I'll talk about a really, really positive comment. Sometimes maybe I'll talk about a really, really not positive comment. Today, I'm going to talk about just the weirdest comment that I've ever seen on any of our videos ever. I think about this comment twice a day. I'm gonna load it up here and read it. This was on our video. Hot Mulligan fans will hate this video, which was, of course, the episode of Battle of the Bangers where we just roast the shit out of Hot Mulligan for like 10 straight minutes. I didn't expect that video to go over well, and it didn't. There's 3 comments on that video, none of which are positive. And the one in particular would just really stood out to me. So this is comment of the month. It's from Grant. He says, "Didn't know Hot Mulligan until I stumbled across this. They're actually really good." And that's fine. Have an opinion. Great. Cool. This last part is what throws me for a loop. He then says, "Backwards hat guy, take Goku off your wall if you insist on hating." What the fuck does that have to do with anything at all? I think about this comment every day. And I don't understand the implications. Is he insinuating that I don't deserve to like Dragon Ball Z because I don't like Hot Mulligan? Because I mean, I guess it would make sense to rep like a really shitty anime to also rep a really shitty band. Like, I guess those would go hand in hand. Joke's on you. I don't even like Dragon Ball that much.
No!
I don't know. I thought that comment was hilarious and completely nonsensical. Grant, if you're out there, please explain, because I just want answers. I really just don't know. Why? What does Goku have to do with anything at all?
Can I just say that, I remember reading that comment for the first time, and I was like, that's just weird. But then as I thought about it, days later, and I reread it, I realized that, he said that he discovered Hot Mulligan, through the video.
That is also true, yeah.
So he has an opinion, he just found out about this band, and the fact that you're hating on Hot Mulligan, when I was the one that was, throwing the most shade, that you didn't like Hot Mulligan, so you had to take down something that you liked off of your wall about a band that he just discovered. That's harsh.
The logic just breaks down even further when you put it that way. I didn't even think about it.
My mind melts as I think about
oh my god.
This went down.
Holy shit. Well, you know what, Grant? Just for you.
Oh shit, he's doing it. He's doing it. Just for you.
Yes!
Doing it! God, it's stuck!
He is.
Oh no!
Tyler has succumbed to the comment mob.
Everything's ripping. I'll get back to that. There's another one here.
It's just taking out.
There's so many Gokus up here. There's so many. That one's gone.
There's
more Gokus. I gotta find all the Gokus. I gotta rip them down. I can't. There's one. Here's one. Here's a Goku right here. He's gone. There's another Goku here.
I'd just like to say that I don't know if people have fully seen Tyler's full form in an episode.
I think Tyler should have done the opposite in this case and just told that guy to piss off.
One more. I
guess
Can't
that's just
forget
me.
that one. Be sacrilegious. Oh god. Okay, they're all gone now. All right. Okay, Grant. There you go. No more Gokus. All Gokus are gone. No more Gokus.
Damn.
I think
you're happy.
I was saying this while you were doing that. I think you should have done the opposite and just left them up there and told them to piss off. Because
well, see, I wouldn't have done this except I'm moving in a few days and I have to take all that down tomorrow anyway.
Oh,
so
well, then,
I just thought it would make it fun.
Yeah. I was like, is he
It
going
would
to
have been more funny if I tore down everything except for the Gokus.
That's what
but
I was kind of
figured
hoping.
we probably didn't have enough time for that.
That's
Right.
fair.
So here we are. Anyway, that's comment of the month. I hope you enjoyed. Congratulations, Grant. Round of applause for Grant.
I was
Comment of the
thinking.
month.
I was thinking you're gonna have like 3 comments, and we're gonna vote like which one was the worst, or
Oh no,
objectively the
I
best.
just want to talk about that one. Maybe if we do it again, we could vote on more comments. But
Hell
yeah,
that one to this day is the weirdest one we've ever gotten, I think.
Yeah, Grant, I'm trying to understand like the mental gymnastics one must undergo to like correlate having Goku on your wall to not liking Hot Mulligan, but yeah.
Hot Mulligan, where's our Dragon Ball Super OVA cover?
Yeah, where's our crossover?
My opinions will be flipped if you do. Immediately.
Oh my god, cool. Yeah, now everyone just associates us with hating Hot Mulligan, which is so cool.
This is alright.
I don't even hate them. I just
Yeah,
You were the one who defended them. It was mostly Kyle who tore into them.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of like, I don't really like him. Kyle was the one who was really just ripping into him.
oh,
But, you know,
it is what it is.
it is what it is. Anyway, we're done with that. Kyle, you told me that you wanted to do another game, quote unquote.
Hell yeah, baby.
Oh, boy.
If you like Kyle's pop punk parody pick'em, baby, it's back. But just you wait. 2.0, right? We're here again. How can we make it better? With 3 songs. Wanna know why? Because Stranger Things happened, and everyone likes Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush so much that everyone made a cover of it. So, this month, we're talking about Jonathan Young's cover of Running Up That Hill. We're talking about, boom, Our Last Night's cover of Running Up That Hill. And boom, fucking Loveless's cover of Running Up That Hill. All a little different, all exciting. We're going to listen to them, and we're going to come back to you with our opinions on which one's the best and which one sucks. None of them suck. They're all good. But yeah, we have come back together after this time of listening to pop punk parodies. It's time to pick them, baby. So how we're going to do this, because there's 3 this month, I'm going to start with 1. We're going to say something about it. Then we're going to do the next and the next, and then we're going to pick which one we like the best. So, starting out with one that we've known for a very long time. We're starting with Our Last Night's cover of Running Up That Hill. So, Tyler, what do you think of Our Last Night's cover of Running Up That Hill?
I prefer Kate Bush.
I hate this bit.
It's not a bit.
Do you prefer the original over Our Last Night?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb here. I remember when the song first blew up because of Stranger Things, and the entire internet was like, I know all you bands are thinking about doing covers of Running Up That Hill, and I'm begging you, don't do it. And then look at this, everyone did it. And they're fine. I just don't think it's a song that's good enough to warrant a cover from like anyone. But I mean, I guess like considering the situation, Our Last Night did a pretty good job with that. I mean, they always do for the most part. They can even do good jobs covering Taylor Swift songs, which is a feat considering that Taylor Swift can't even write good Taylor Swift songs.
They salvage the ashes of those songs.
For real. Something. So I mean, like all things considered, I did think it was cool how they took like a heavier approach to it. It was chuggy. It was fun. But I mean, his voice is worse than Kate Bush. So at the end of the day, I prefer Kate Bush.
Damn.
Kate Bush.
That's my take.
How'd you like Our Last Night's cover?
I think, and I say this all the time, Our Last Night is very consistently inconsistent. One thing they always seem to nail, or at least get close to nailing, are covers. This is no exception. I'm not a fan of the original. I think the song's like too repetitive, and I don't know. For me, it just kind of like drones on. So for Our Last Night to actually add like a little more pizzazz and a little more, on the instrumental front, which all 3 of these covers do, but I think Our Last Night kind of does the best job. So
Hell yeah.
It's a solid cover. I'll give it that.
Nice. Hell yeah. I think that I agree with you that like this song like falls into like the 80s pop song tropes in a lot of ways. Very echoey, like large choruses and some like fun little runny verses in here and there. But I like that all these bands did like add their own little spice to it and like kind of their own unique ways. Does anyone want to say anything about Loveless's cover?
I thought it was better. Well, not necessarily better. Just like I thought, since his voice is like a little bit better, and it was like a little more like synthy. I thought it was cool because like I think that the Our Last Night one, it's good because of how like chuggy it is, and that's like a new like angle on it, whatever, and that's cool. But I do think that the Loveless one just sounds a little bit better overall to me. Still below Kate Bush, but you know, what can you do?
Kate Bush ranking high at this moment, I see. Brennan, do you have any feelings about Loveless's cover of this track?
It's all right. I mean, I prefer the Our Last Night. The guy does have a really good voice. I don't know. Like the Our Last Night one just hits me a little better, for like lack of a better way of putting it. I don't know. I mean, it's a good cover. Like it is what it is.
That's fair. And then as far as Jonathan Young goes, I would like to start with this because actually, like I'm always like Jonathan Young, yes. You know, I was the one who like kind of pushed him into like the YouTube corner and whatnot. And I actually don't love this cover. And I like it in general, but there's a lot of like effects that they add in a lot of parts of this cover with like echoiness right after they hold out a long note, both in Jonathan's part and Caleb's parts of the song, that I don't think always work. I think it's a little overdone at times. Overall, though, the fact that it's much more like almost like love ballady than the other two to me, I like a lot. How'd you guys feel about Jonathan?
It was probably also my least favorite because it wasn't like trying to like do it in a new genre. It felt like it was just sort of them like covering the song, which again, like, just don't do that. And like if you're not adding anything new to it, then like why would you do that? Just don't do that. Kate Bush, 3 for 3.
For Tyler, Kate Bush wins.
Yeah.
How'd you? Because you don't like have as much of like a long history with Jonathan Young, Brennan. So I'm curious to see how you feel about Jonathan's take.
I mean, I've been listening to Jonathan Young stuff for quite a while. I mean, you're talking probably 2015, but I like Jonathan Young and I don't like Jonathan Young all at the same time. Like his vocal performance on this track, I think is like subpar, and I think it's kind of held back by his like general like vocal range. Like to me, sometimes he gets into like dad rock vocals. Like he could very well be covering like Five Finger Death Punch sometimes. Which I'm not a fan of Five Finger Death Punch, but like that's just his like lyrical ability or his vocal ability and his vocal like choice. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, this cover is easily the weakest of the three. Because like instrumentally, like they do some cool stuff. I mean, even like some like the background stuff is like pretty neat. But I think that Our Last Night and Loveless kind of give us more, especially in the vocal department. So.
That's fair. Well, now that we've discussed every song, it's time to cast our votes. And no, Kate Bush is not a vote option. So Tyler,
it's a write-in. There's always
write-in shit. There's only 3 people.
This isn't a governmental election.
Write-ins are allowed with 3 people. So
I fucking ripped Goku off my wall 8 times. I can write in whoever I want. I have earned that right.
Tyler, which of the 3 do you like the most?
Loveless, I guess. Let's go with them.
Hell yeah. Brennan, how you feeling?
I'm going to go with Our Last Night.
Hell yeah. Good, solid picks. I think for me, personally, when I listened to all 3 of them initially and listened to them a little bit since they've all come out, I think that Loveless gives it a little bit more like that classic just pop punk cover version of it, where like it's pretty moving most of the time. Whereas I think Our Last Nights leaves a lot of like open space with some chugginess in there that like is, I think hits a little bit harder for me, as well as the fact that they like really implement the uncleans a lot in the Our Last Night cover, with like the back and forth, especially in that final chorus. It gives me like the feels that I get from the original, the little bit of emotion that I find in the original version of the song. So for that reason, I'm also gonna go with Our Last Night. So baby, Our Last Night's 2 for 2 at this point, because I'm almost certain they won last time.
Oh, they absolutely won last time.
Yeah, because you guys both voted Our Last Night last time. So
yeah.
2 for 2, baby. Can they be dethroned? Who knows? Woo!
I mean, they're one of the bands that keeps turning out covers, so I don't know. Well,
That's
at least
fair.
always be in the running.
We do always talk about how they're like super good at all their covers. So this is their place to win the gold every time of any place. So, but that's been it for Kyle's pop punk Parody Pick'em, baby. Woo! Thanks for tuning in. Let's have it next time. Woo. Brennan!
I was about to say, is it my
I hear
turn?
something rolling up, baby.
Do you hear it rolling up? It's the train of the damned. And who is it bringing to the door of the club today?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gentleman's Club. We have 2 more tracks that are vying for admission into the club. And boy, oh fucking boy, is this a tough one in my opinion. I don't know. I really don't know who I'm going to pick. So let's get right into it. Track number 1, of course, is from a guy that a lot of people in the gent scene know. Recently released an album. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode. And boy howdy, is it a fucking ripper of an album. But of course, the guy in question is Jason Richardson, along with Luke Holland. Everyone knows him as an excellent drummer. And the track is called Tendinitis. So I guess let's have a listen.
I think you spelled tendinitis wrong.
Probably not.
I think I did, yeah. Like I spelled tendon like how it's supposed to be. Well, I think he misspelled it, but
That's what I said. Yeah, like I think.
Oh, I thought you said I did.
No.
like when I texted you guys what it was.
It's like I think he misspelled it.
Oh, well, Jason Richardson, excellent on the guitar, but probably not grammatically, but that's okay.
Yes, he did spell it wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck you, guy. Go back to school.
Yeah. Go back to school.
Damn!
Dude's an absolute excellent guitar god, but ask him to spell shit and it's no. It's not happening. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't heard that, definitely check that shit out. Absolute ripper of a track. But the challenger, the opponent that this track faces, all right, is a band that's very well known in the gent scene. I remember we went to see them live and they were joking how they were never releasing another album again. That's turning out to be a lie. So
who would have seen it coming?
Yeah, who would have seen it coming? I mean, this band has released another delicious single before this, and now they hit us once again with another one. That, of course, is Neurotica by Polyphia. So let's have a listen. Yeah, so those are the 2 that are going to go head to head in our lovely Gentleman's Club selection / voting / admission. So, Tyler.
It's Polyphia. Polyphia wins, hands down. It's Polyphia. I mean, it's just I listen to both. They both have their merits, but I mean, we gotta be real here. I mean, we had to put something against Polyphia. But like Polyphia will never lose these because it's fucking Polyphia. That's like having a dude go into a boxing match with a gun and then, wins by default. It's just the way it goes. The other song's good too. It has its moments. In my opinion, the other song takes way too long to get going though. When I want gent, I want it now. I don't want to sit through like 3 hours of fucking organ playing to get to the chugs. Polyphia just fucking slapped me in the face with it right away. And they did their business and left, and they respected my time, and I respect them for that. Also, Tim Henson is just an incredible human being, and he deserves to be in the club twice, and I will allow him to be in the club twice with no hesitation.
Well, let's see if the rest of us agree with you. Kyle. Polyphia, of course, has the vote of 1-0 at this very moment. So, Kyle, will it be 2-0 or will it be 1-1?
See, I am not so obviously decided on this. Going in, I obviously adore Polyphia and don't listen. I'm not a frequent of Jason Richardson, so immediately I was leaning one way. But then I listened to Tendinitis, baby, and oh boy, I think the best way to describe these two songs in a similar way is they're both like just full out experiences. They just strap you in and they give you just a wild ride, and in very different ways, I will say. But overall, just a fucking experience to behold. That's the word, not withhold. What the fuck? And you just behold this wonder, this masterclass of gent, and you just absorb it. It's delicious. I think Jason Richardson, kind of agree, Tyler, takes a little bit to get into there, but damn, when you talk about like the way they build up, the way they just make things fucking very grandiose is like how I felt as I was listening to it. I thought grandiose. It felt like a movie soundtrack at times. I was like, oh my god, 1917. He's running across the battlefield. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. But it's really fucking tasty. Massive props to him. In fact, I also thought when I was listening to it of randomly like a Castlevania style boss fight for some reason, especially near the end when it just gets really epic. I was just like, am I playing Castlevania? Dracula's there in front of me. But Polyphia, obviously, I mean, come on. Tyler, I'm pretty much in agreement with you, even though I think Jason Richardson's absolutely fucking incredible. That song is incredible in every way, shape, or form. But Polyphia is just gods amongst men. A bunch of fucking incredible people making incredible music. It also, as much as I like objectively breaking shit down, Tyler, I agree. I want that gent and I want it now. Pump it in me. Please, yep. Tim, pump it in me. Give me that gent. And that's what it does. It gets right in and it doesn't fucking stop. It gets all noodly. It goes in different places around the same little thing. I love it. So I'm gonna have to go.
It's like going into a boxing match, but one dude is in a fucking Gundam wing. There's no chance for the normal boxer. It's just not fair.
I don't think it's that one-sided, because I think Jason...
You're right. It's Mike Tyson is the boxer. And then the other guy's in a Gundam wing.
You know what? That's interesting. Okay,
sure. So that makes it 2-0. So my vote is officially irrelevant. I don't think Tendinitis deserves to be shut out. And I do think, in my opinion, it is the superior track. I love Neurotic. I really do. I think Playing God fucking smokes Neurotic.
It's Neurotica.
Or Neurotica. Whatever. See, it's I don't even remember the name. That's how much like I prefer Tendinitis. But like to me, like yeah, it does take a minute to get going, and that is an absolute fault of it. But for damn near 4 minutes, you get some of the tastiest gent that I've heard released this year, and probably in the amount of time that the show has been a thing. Of course, like the rest of the album does the same shit. It's all epicness, but I think that Tendinitis gives you a lot more when it gives it to you. However, I do agree with you guys that the fact that it takes a minute to get going is definitely a fault. But my vote's definitely going to Tendinitis. But by a vote of 2-1, which is convincing with how you guys put your votes. So in that case, Neurotica by Polyphia once again enters the Gentleman's Club.
And you know what that means? Fucking the other one gets just all the skin sliced off its body, and it's just peeled like a potato, and then it's shoved disrespectfully into the Segway train of dead corpses. And it's off to the mountain once again.
The disrespect is way too high. Jason Richardson deserves better. I'm sorry,
he absolutely does. I'm really glad you didn't let it be a shutout, because I absolutely agree that it should be a 2-1. I was back and forth, but
yeah, it deserved to be a 2-1. It just didn't deserve it, so I'm glad it did.
Fair enough, man. That's how the cookie crumbles. But anyways,
hell yeah.
Thank you guys for coming and voting and listening to the Gentleman's Club. Tyler, the show goes back to you.
It's time. It's time. We're having a stroke, and it's time for picks of the month.
We're good with segues.
The part of the show where we talk about our top albums and singles that dropped in the month of July. We could basically just skip albums, right? I mean, it's, Jackpot Juicer is here, and that came out in July.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say? I mean, there were other albums that came out that were also good.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate any other albums winning. But if anybody would like to talk about other albums that came out, feel free.
I mean, I don't appreciate this Satyr slander, but
I also agree with this.
That was also a very good album.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pump the fucking brakes, everybody. I'm not saying that Totem by Satyr is better, but I am saying that Totem by Satyr deserves a mountain of respect. This album,
100%, yeah.
This album was transformative, and from start to finish, with a couple like really, really high peaks. This album is a masterpiece, and Satyr should be very happy with it, and I can't wait to hear what they have coming up next. So, I had a couple other albums come out. I don't want to hog the show, so I don't know if you guys have any.
Nah, go for it.
Get that shit,
You're already
baby.
talking. Lay it out.
So, obviously, Rain City Drive, we ranked that album as well. Unfortunately, it comes out the same month as DGD, sucks to suck. As I said before, Jason Richardson and Luke Holland coming out with, I guess it's 2, is what the album's called. If you're a Jenny boy, Boom Pachu, excellent song, XIV 2.0, like Ishimura, like the album is just littered with just genty goodness. And, if you're into gent, totally recommend this album. My guys, Stick to Your Guns release a new album called Spectre. And I know longtime listeners of the show, I had this band in my top 10 bands of all time. Not so much anymore. This album, it's good, but it doesn't really hold a candle to any of their old stuff, which, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer, but I don't think it's like a bad record. I just think that it doesn't really match up very well compared to others. But obviously, album of the month, Jackpot Juicer. The album fucking rips. It has some of the best tracks that DGD's ever written, and DGD is my favorite band. So, yeah, Jackpot Juicer for sure.
Hell yeah.
So,
fucking tight. Kyle, what wasn't your album of the month?
So what wasn't my album of the month? We'll start from the bottom, work our way up. And oddly enough for me, that was Corey Henry. The bottom of my list. Corey Henry released an album called Operation Funk this month. And it is incredible. That album fucking rips. I love it so much. It is just, Operation Funk is an optimal name for this album, because it's funky as shit. I love it. I'm going to come back to it a lot. Unfortunately, it came out in possibly the hottest month of the year, music-wise. Right above that, I got Rain City Drive, because Rain City Drive's album was super tasty. It's kind of one of those albums that I feel like you can just throw on and kind of shut your brain off and really have a good pop-punk time. And then going right from that into an album where you can't shut your brain off, Totem by Satyr. I just, at this moment, that album came out on the 1st of July. And it was squarely in the front spot for the album of the month all month long for me. It came out. It thing's a fucking masterpiece. I fucking love that album. I'm going to come back to it very much. You'll probably see it when I talk about albums at the end of the year. And then Jackpot Juicer came out. And if you want to hear what we have to say about that, check out our full review of it. But, I mean, that album's fucking immaculate. That album is unreal. 18 songs of fucking no skips, just DGD goodness. It's music in its purest form. That's my album, baby. Jackpot
Hell yeah.
Juicer. Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mine too. And we all knew that. I mean, you already mentioned, like, the big albums, too, because, like, my second place would be friggin' the Rain City Drive album. I really like that album. I actually listened to that today, betwixt, if you will, 2 straight listen-throughs of Jackpot Juicer. I used it as, like, a break. So cleanse my palate, and then went right back in. Yeah, and then the Seder album is also very good. For me, the Seder album is like so good that it's overwhelming. So I actually choose not to listen to it as a full album most of the time. I have it in my shuffle, and when an individual song comes up, I'm like, oh hell yes. But if I listen to like 2 songs in a row, I'm having a panic attack. I need to stop. There's too much happening. But it is an incredible album, and major kudos to them for crafting that. Tertiary album, or EP, I guess. Yours Truly released a new EP, and I liked it. I don't think it was as good as their album they released 2 years ago, but it was still pretty good. And it has some singles on it. It was one of those things where it was like the singles were really good, and then like the other stuff that's on there is just sort of like just kind of there to fill out the EP, in my opinion. So
unfortunate.
Some of the singles are good. So they're a good band. Check them out. I guess that's really it. There were other albums, but I don't care. And I didn't even listen to most of the other ones that came out. So they're on my playlist if you feel like looking. I don't even have an opinion on any of them because I did not listen to any of them. I just added them because they came out. So.
DGD just reigns supreme, baby.
Yeah. DGD stands for Doggone Do Gooder Tune Basket.
Doggone dog.
Stands for Did Good Dude on your album. That was a little better.
That was a little better.
Did good, dude.
Do you have any singles you like, Tyler?
Boy, do I. I'm gonna give you one guess as to what my single of the month is.
Could it be actually, now that I'm looking at grievance pay pop up on my phone, I now realize
technically I did forget to mention that. I actually forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
That was technically not a single.
That is
because
true.
It was released on Slow Bloom Deluxe, which came out the exact same day as Jackpot Juicer.
Technically album.
Very unfortunate timing. That was my album of the year last year though. And the deluxe edition is better because it also includes FOMO, which was my single of the month last month, and a brand new song, Grievance Pay, which is also really good. They have a full-on, actual breakdown at the end of it, and it's good. I was not expecting it, and it is nice. But no, technically I can't count that as a single because it was included on an album. My single of the month is We Slowly Lose Hope for Things to Come by Royal Coda because, that song just blew my socks off. I still can't find my socks. They got blown off. They never came back. Every time I listened to it, more and more of my socks just kept flying out of my home. I only have one pair of socks now. I only saved them because I stopped listening to the song. So it's a really good song. I did a reaction, so everyone knows how I feel about this song. It's incredible. Came out the same day as Die Another Day, and it made me not like Die Another Day that much by comparison because I just think that the Royal Coda song is better. And being better than a DGD song is impressive. I get it's both Will Swan, so it's
cheating on Tad.
Not really, it's like a technicality, but still, I don't know. That song is incredible, and it has made me infinitely hyped for the Royal Coda album. So that's my single of the month, hands down. Honorable mention, Emma Rosa released a new track, and I dug it. And I'm sure Kyle thought it was boring or whatever, but...
No, I actually kind of liked it.
You actually liked that one?
Actually, I dig it a bit more than the last.
I definitely liked it more than the first single they put out. They actually used the choir.
Yes.
And that made me happy, because I really thought that they underutilized the choir in the first one, and they really did it good on the second one. So
that's literally my main note, is that like you have learned. And
yeah, they learned their
you've made a objectively better song for me to listen to, so I liked it more.
I'm so happy for the 80s themed album. It's gonna be lit. Brandon, we'll pitch it back over to you. What was your single of the month?
I mean, I am really feeling the Royal Coda release. It is a very tasty track. My boys, the Devil Wears Prada, released a single called Time. I thought was pretty good. Looking forward to their new record.
Time, like the construct, or like the ingredient?
The construct. Time is just a construct, man. I guess the construct to actually give you an answer. I
just didn't know if they named it like THYME.
Time. Like they name a song like Out of Time, but it's Time. So I'm kind of mixed, because there's a collaboration with a band that I absolutely love, that I am infatuated with, and Phase One. The song is called Icarus, and it is with Phase One and Polaris. And the song absolutely fucking rips. They kind of go like, because Phase One did some shit with Northlane before, and like it has like the EDM, like dubstep kind of beats, like intermixed with like, you know, breakdowns and guitar work and stuff. Northlane kind of like for a while kind of soured that sound with me, especially like their last album, where like that's literally all it was, and none of it was like really good. But Polaris, like they do a good job with it, and they make it more like add to the track than like take away from it. Man, but is it better than Royal Coda? I'm gonna say yeah, just to be different. So let's go Icarus by Phase One and Polaris. But the Royal Coda slaps, and can't wait for that record. It's gonna be awesome. Potential top 5 right there.
Oh yeah. Kyle?
I had this month was crazy for me, because multiple phenomenal albums. In fact, every album I talked about is immediately like in my top 10. Like there's no doubt in my mind it would at least be top 10 albums of the year. And then the singles, most of my favorite singles so far this year came out this month. Let me rapid fire them to you. All of the Our Last Night covers of this month were really good, and that doesn't happen very often. I really liked all of their weird like rewind weeks, or the fuck they're calling them, like their back in time covers of 2 from the 70s, 2 from the 80s. We'll see how much they continue. I love them. Specifically, Total Eclipse of the Heart was really, really good. Fucking Coast by Haley Steinfeld and Anderson .Paak. What a weird one for me to be talking about. Fucking Haley Steinfeld. But I like Haley Steinfeld as an actress, and I saw her post on Twitter that she released a song. I was like, and I also like Anderson .Paak, so Sonic, baby. Woo. And that song's kind of a vibe. I actually really dug it. It was a good time. Snarky Puppy released another single. It's a fucking banger. A little bit shorter, but also I think not as catchy as the previous single. So we'll leave it there. I'm still wildly excited about that album coming out later this year. Fucking Polyphia, Neurotica. T-Pain released a cover of I'm Blue.
What just came out of your mouth right now?
T-Pain?
T-Pain
Hold on.
released a cover of I'm Blue.
Those are two things that should not be mixed in any capacity. I have to look this up now. There's no way.
It's fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
It's very cool. It's very cool. As you guys absorb, I'll finish telling you my list because there's a couple more. I actually really like the Amorosa track. It's very solid. Era released Pull from the Ghosts. That one was pretty solid. I love it. It's exactly what my reaction was, a face palm and laughter. I
don't want this to be
I actually really like I actually really like the new Water Park single, Self-Sabotage. Some interesting choices in there, but like overall thought it was a pretty good time. Perhaps I'll become a Water Parks fan after this last Battle of the Bangers. We'll see. I hinted at it before, but Imagine Dragons released a song featuring Corey Henry this month, and it was Corey Henry inspired in a lot of ways, so it was good. Magnolia Park released a hotly debated single called Don't Be Racist, where everyone went, you were a little blunt there, but I think that was the point, so that's okay. And the song was, I think that was the point, guys. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta say it, and there it is. But yeah, I saw a lot of like weird controversy, hate, opinions about it, but I mean the song was good, so whatever. And then 2 singles came out from Royal Coda. We mentioned the really good one, We Still Lose Hope for Things to Come. But I actually really like Screen Time Overload, especially over time. When it first came out, like the 2 singles came out together on the same day, which is an interesting choice. I definitely liked We Slowly Lose Hope for Things to Come more. But over time, I've really come to like Screen Time Overload. It's very, very good, and it's pretty different as well, which also gives me a lot of excitement about the album, more so than just getting 1 really good single. 2 that are different and also really good is really solid. But fucking We Slowly Lose Hope for Things to Come is fucking incredible. Snarky Puppy and Polyphia released a single this month, and that single still fucking wins for me. It's crazy. Royal Coda is so good. I am so fucking dummy pumped for this album next month. But yeah. Dummy pumped, baby. Also, I don't know. I was kind of hoping you were going to pick the Royal Coda single, Brennan, because I think that would have been the first time ever we were all in agreement for single and album, perhaps. I could be wrong.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Off by 1 single vote. And you can't change it now.
Wow.
It's okay. I was waiting. I was like, it's okay. No, it's fair. It's fair. Hell yeah. We'll wait for that gem another day. Maybe perhaps another.
When the Wiggles drop a hot new single, we'll all be 100% on board with that being the single.
Absolutely. But that's it, baby. Wow. It's all them singles and albums.
Damn. I'm also going to make this announcement now because no one's going to watch this, so they won't know it's being announced. Wiggles 2 next year. Confirmed. I'm forcing it to happen.
Let's go! I'm so ready. I heard.
So we're going to do another Wiggles review.
I've been thinking long and hard about it, and I'm like, is it a huge waste of our fucking time? Yes. Is it what the people want and what the people deserve? Also, yes.
I literally
April Fool's 2023, Wiggles 2. We're gonna make it happen.
Electric Boogaloo, baby. Here we go.
It's an announcement to Kyle and Brennan right now.
Time to go into the boog. Let's do it.
I was kind of hoping we were gonna do it this year, and then we just didn't do anything for April Fool's Day, and then
that was the joke. We didn't do anything. That's the ultimate April Fool's joke at this point. Is to just not post anything. Yeah,
the ultimate troll.
I had people actually say, they were like, why didn't you do another Wiggles review? And I was like,
I know.
Well, guess we gotta do another Wiggles review.
God,
it's almost at 1,000 views, which is a lot for us.
I was just about to ask, like, how popular is that video?
It's one of our most popular videos. Which, considering the amount of fucking time I had to put into prepping for that, I'm fucking glad, because that was like, I've never put more time into pre-production on a video before.
I can't wait to go through that torture.
That has nothing to do with this month, but you know what does? The end of this video. Because it's the end. If you liked this video, please give it a like, because that helps out a lot, and make sure to comment below what your single and album of the month were, as well as comments on whatever else you fucking want, because it's the internet and it's a free country, and you can type whatever you want as long as it's not like profane or racist or a sex bot.
Gross.
So, go hog wild. Anyway, if you're not subscribed to the Talks a Lot Boys, you can do that too by going down and clicking the button that says subscribe. And then if you ringle dongle the bell, you get notified whenever we make new videos, such as the finale for the Battle of the Bangers, Sad Summerfest.
Or Royal Coda's album review.
Royal Coda's album review when that comes out. Or Emma Rose's album review when that comes out. Or
the DGD Ultimate Album Show-Off.
Yeah.
Showdown.
Or Wiggles 2.
That's a little ways out, but
Wiggles 2 fucking outshines DGD Showdown.
or our inevitable Thanksgiving special.
Yes, true. Those are underrated.
Those are underrated. People should check those out.
The most fun things I have doing on this channel are the things that aren't what people subscribe for on our channel.
You hear us talking about gravy for a really long time.
Gravy's not even a food; it's a fucking condiment.
And
Get
yet
the fuck
it
out
won.
of here!
Spoiler,
totally.
Tyler!
I don't care. It's been out for 2 years. If you haven't seen it at this point, you're not gonna.
To my chagrin,
And to my chagrin,
it is what it is.
It's the end of the episode. We've been the Talks a Lot Boys. We'll talk a whole lot more next time. Bye.